Hey, what's up, guys? We are with Mark, aka the Mannadium dude around here, and so we have his updated build that he's testing out for the format. Of course, he's always in the lab with his favorite deck, Mannadium. You guys remember his 64th place deck profile with Mannadium that a lot of people ended up liking. And while the combo video is still on its way, we will have an updated build for you guys right now. And did you have anything to say before we get into it?
Just so we really have been in the lab a lot, in multiple discords, just talking about theory for the deck, what its identity is, what our best end boards are, especially with Apo going, with Baron going. Konami just has it out for my deck. But yeah, I'm really theorizing with this build, testing it out. It's gotten good test hands, good end boards going first and second against the meta right now. Yugioh is kind of sorting itself out, and we're working on it, but one thing at a time. It's not going to be tier 1 by any means, so don't expect it. I know the Mannadium players like to think that we're the best, and we are, but let's let reality kick in. So we're just going to see where it goes from there and see what YCS Niagara is going to do for us.
Sure. How many in the main?
We are running a 50-card build. Don't crucify me until you see it all.
Sure. Let's get into it.
So we run 3 of a lot of the cards in here nowadays. We run 3 Visa Starfrost, 3 Samsara, 3 Riemhart. This is the bread and butter, which you won't really change too much. 3 of the Reichardt. These are the main 12 starters, but I'm also going to show you the extenders right after this.
Do you like the 3 visas in this build with the extra cards?
The 3 visas have become necessary. I've noticed I ran 2 for the longest time. And if you're running, I mean, obviously you have to make accommodations when you're running a bigger build. So 3 visas was just the very next step and iteration of Mannadium. Especially once you see a spicy little magic card, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But we keep on going to the extenders. We go with 3 Meek, and this is the one that'll get me the most flack here. We run 3 Fearless and 1 Torrid.
So explain the Fearless.
Yeah, because a lot of people hate on the Fearless. They hate on the Torrid. I was one of the haters, I won't lie. But talking with one of my other mods, Smams, local Marincess god, really kind of opened my eyes as to the purpose of it. The fact that you do need more extenders, and the fact that you are able to go with Torrid and break into either one of these branches. It really does help your plays when you are going second, because that's where Mannadium struggles a lot of the time, is going second. And people, secondary note, people underestimate the 500 attack boost that you do gain from this. A lot of the time you will have trouble running something over if you're going second. You won't have enough juice to get over like a lot of these branded builds. And you know, the Yugioh cards, stuff like that, you just don't have enough gas. So these guys really help facilitate your ability to run over boards.
And that's something you've been more recently on, right? Sorry, whatever.
The Fearless?
Yeah, the Fearless.
Yeah, it's definitely been a new tech. It's not, I mean, I tried it like a year ago when Mannadium first came out, and it wasn't really fitting the bill. But since newer cards have been coming out and we've really been trying to figure the deck out, Fearless is something that I really found has been an integral part of the deck. And a lot of people will hate on it and they'll try to say that it's not good. Don't listen to them. Try it for yourself. Try this build. See if it's something that works for you, because I'll be damned if I hear another person say that it's not good unless it's the exact same 40 card build that we've been trying and losing with for months now. So don't hate it until you've tried it. That's my spiel. Anyways, non-engine. I run 3 Phantasme in the main. I love these cards. They are great for hand sculpting if something ever happens, because we do run 7 balls in the deck. If you ever open multiples of the same one, you want a way to be able to sculpt your hand to get the most optimal hand for your engine. Therefore, high Phantasme. It's also great against protecting your cards against impermanence, ash, whatever it may be. Stuff like that can really slow your game going second.
SP Promethea.
Oh my gosh, yes. It's saved my life so many times. And everybody's running links, again, aside from branded, but you got to make the meta calls. So, Phantasme is fantastic. I also run 3, that was super cheesy. I also run 3 Engraver, because we run this Fiendsmith package, and I run 1 Lurie.
How do you like the Fiendsmith package in Mannadium?
It is a small 5-card package, and it is basically my anti-nib line. I don't go into anything Necroquip, Sequence, obviously not Lacrima, no Desiree. I use it specifically for anti-nib lines. And sometimes during the grind game, you can use, Engraver with a Reichheart to go into a Chaos Angel. You can use Engraver and Visas to go into a Crimson Dragon. And it really does mix into the deck well. And I found that it is very synergistic, especially with the Chaos Angel. The Chaos Angel feels fantastic with Engraver because people don't expect it.
Oh yeah, to get the light dark Chaos Angel super clean.
It's just off the wall. People don't expect you to go
Before
into
you
it.
needed the Bestials to do that in your deck. Yeah.
Exactly, and now you can just use that, and it's super fluid with the deck. I love it. Anytime I draw a Tract or an Engraver, it's fantastic. We don't talk about when you open up the one of Lurie. That's it for monsters. That's 26 monsters.
Have you considered the Bestials in the main deck at all?
We labbed with Bestials. It's good. It kind of lacks a decent grind game. Regained is good, but it banishes cards that you really want to have in your deck. And not everyone's running light and darks in the graveyard, especially when you're going first. It can be difficult to use them to your advantage. So Bestials, you can do it, but I made the meta call to go for this because you can't run an anti-nib line with Bestials as easily as when you go with the Fiendsmiths.
Makes sense. Just wanted to ask.
Yeah. It might be better for like a budget player. If you can't get the Fiendsmiths, go with Bestials and try that out because that would be a good next step.
Yeah.
And then we got spells. We run big amounts of spells. We run 3 Calarium, 3 Obsidian. With the 50-card build, we had to up that up to 3 from 2. And I run 1 Imaginings. A lot of people would hate on that, but when you think about the numbers, 3 Obsidian with the fact that you have 7 of your orbs really does work out, and it just...
Oh, it's so good when you're running a bunch of orbs. That's how I used to run Mannadium. It's so clean like that.
Yeah, it creates a consistency that having a bigger build just helps facilitate. And we do the same thing with the Reichphobia.
So pretty.
We run 3 Reichphobia and 3 Arrival. I was originally on 2 Arrival, but my combos ended up going through 1, sometimes 2 of them. And then if you're going into turn 3, 4, 5, your Reichheart is a dead summon. It's not really doing anything. So
it's a good grind game piece too.
To have it, yeah, it's just fantastic. And sometimes you'll open a Reichheart and you'll get a Reichheart from Lightheart Search, and it's like, okay, then you've got nothing else. So again, just increasing the grind game potential so that you've got more further down the road. We do run 1 Purrely because Purrely is great for the Visas plays. It's just an extra piece, and I do run 1 Terraforming to go along with it. So it's just added consistency in the 50-card build. And then the little bit of the goo that is actually part of the heart and soul of the deck now that we've been testing out is 3 Link to the Vrains.
So explain this in Mannadium.
In Link to the Vrains, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 engine cards that you can use with this here. You have 9 cards that you can open with this, summon, link off into Lightheart, search your field spell with the Lightheart because it can't be negated. And then you've already got either a Visas in the graveyard, you've got a Lightheart in the graveyard, or Reichheart in the graveyard, and you got a Samsara in the graveyard. One of these 3, you're searching Reichphobia, you're special summoning either the Reichheart that you searched, or you've got a Visas in your hand, you're popping it, you're getting an Arrival, you're making your plays happen in a way that your opponent cannot stop. They cannot interact with the Lightheart search, which is
that really important?
It is incredibly important because anyone who plays against Mannadium and has played against Mannadium know that searching with your Lightheart can be a pain in the ass if it is negated. And a lot of people think that, they summon Lightheart, oh, I'm not going to negate it because I have another one. This just makes it so even if they don't know any better, if you play against a less experienced player who's playing against Mannadium and they try to negate it, there's nothing they can do. Link to the Vrains branches that and skips that entirely so they can't even touch it. And it's just another way to get your engine in the graveyard, your Visas in the graveyard, your Reichheart in the graveyard. And I've been testing against a lot of different people, and I've been testing with Smams, and it's just disgusting. It feels so smooth and so crisp in the deck. Definitely try it if you haven't already. Yeah, I think I'm the first person to have thought about that and made it into a good
Mannadium.
build. So,
Yeah.
Were you just
not saying I'm taking credit for it, but I'm taking credit for
Were
it.
you just talking about
Link to the Vrains, yeah.
That card is so cracked, man.
It's nasty. Not an engine. We run 2 of the triple tactics talent just for draw power, breaking boards. It's fantastic. We also run the Rhoda for consistency, the called by for the shifter that we hate, and the 1 reframing, obviously, because you need the reframing.
Very nice. Do you find yourself like I know this is like something that you've just been kind of cooking up. What other like non-engine might you consider if people would want, or like have you considered for this kind of build? Like, would you run more hand traps or would you run more board breakers? If people are wondering like if they want to add more non-engine.
So we've been thinking about a bunch of different things. We've been thinking anything from Econ for breaking boards to Droplet for breaking boards. Droplet is a very, very good contender. I'm probably going to be siding it if I don't main it. Mulch Army is also going to be very good, very relevant in the deck. So that's definitely going in the side, but also very, very good to be maining. If you main Phantasme and Mulch Army, you're in a really good spot.
So good.
It's busted.
Starting your turn with 8 cards is kind of crazy.
Oh, it's disgusting. Yeah. Those are some Book of Eclipse. I've heard some people running that for breaking boards. But that's all I've really gotten so far. Silhouette Rabbit, a lot of people have been talking about that with the angel statue. But I haven't labbed enough with it yet to, find an extra deck slot. So maybe down the road.
Let's see the rest of the extra deck, man.
So we're very, very tight here on extra deck space. We obviously have the Crimson Dragon. We have the Dissipator. We have Chaos Angel and Chen Ying. These are our big boys right here. We need the generic. We also have the quite easy to get out Light and Dark. And we obviously have the Crimson Dragon target. And then we run Amritara, Excel, and Trisukta. Excel and Crimson Dragon. Every time I try to run one or the other, and I just miss the other one that I don't have in. So we just made the cut to have both in there. Amritara is unspoken. You don't need to mention that. We all know what she goes for. And Trisukta as well. Just great for bridging with the 4s and the 2s to get into your Amritara. Not a whole lot of variance there. A lot of people saying that Chaos Angel is not that great, but Chaos Angel is now one of our anti-nib lines. Not anti-nib, but it really helps insulate against it, so you can at least have that on the field, Dissipator on the field, and just help play through potential hand traps like that are going to affect your synchros.
Totally makes sense. Yeah, like your board on top of a Light and Dark Chaos Angel is actually kind of just nuts.
It's hard as hell to out. I'm not gonna lie. It's not impossible, but it is hard to beat.
Good luck being that game 1.
Yeah, it's rest in peace. 2 Astrolaud is very straightforward. Thought about running it to 1, couldn't do it.
You can't ever run that one, bro.
You can't. I thought about running it to 3.
Yeah,
but we're finding ways to get it back in with Dissipator and everything, so 2 is fine where it's at. The 2 spots here, I'll say for the Fiendsmith, we'd run the 1 Requiem and 1 Caesar. Again, no Necroquip, no Sequence, no Desiree. Obviously, again, no Lacrima. This is all I need it for. I don't need to take up too much space. It's just anti-nib.
So it's a decent link fodder, worst case.
It is good link fodder, and it's a 2800 beat stick, so worst comes to worst, just beat over them.
Oh, I'm talking about the Fiendsmith bodies, definitely, but yes.
It could also be synchro fodder. They are 6s.
Yeah, the synchro fodder with like Crimson and whatnot, it is good.
Could just make a light Chaos Angel.
The math works out really well, yeah.
We like math, except math mech. Links.
Wow, rip the freaking the stray to freaking circular.
The math mech slander is real. This is your most standard 4 that you're going to see in Mannadium now. You're not going to see Apo, obviously. People have been wondering, what are you going to do without Apo? And I've been running without Apo for like 2 months now, just trying to figure out what the heck I'm going to do. Rest in peace to my Starlight. This is great for just getting your Astrolaud and Meek into something else, Chen Ying, and then link it off into SP. You don't need to be anything crazy with your link package. If you want to go crazy and go into like the Nightmare Unicorn, Silhouette Rabbit, Access Code, just really play into your links, you're more than welcome to. Mannadium is a very wide variety deck when it comes to what you can do as far as synchros versus links. It just comes down to how you want to play the deck. So This is a 50 card build right now. Side deck is in the works. It's very local based, so don't think that it's like, okay, we need to have something.
Do you have any
rad.
general recommendations for Mannadium side decks right now?
Forbidden Droplet Mulch Armies, 100%. If you don't main them, definitely side them. What's a couple others? There's definitely some extra deck monsters. Keep a couple slots in your extra deck or your side deck for your extra deck monsters. That's one thing that Mannadium needs. You know, Abyss Dweller, maybe a Baguska, depending on what you're going up against.
All those
I've seen a
fours.
lot of people say the Baguska is necessary this
For a
format.
shifter, yeah.
For stuff like that,
Yeah.
you get shifted with this deck, you are in trouble. There's no real good way to get past shifter unless you're drawing the one I've called by. Or cross out, God bless you if you're going to do that. Cross out designator is possible, but you got to run a big ass hand trap package to side in for that. So that's about what I'd say. The rest is very locals dependent. See what your opponent is playing and just test it. You got to figure it out. So
Sounds good.
that's about what we got right now.
Yeah, I know you were also quickly testing the ice barrier stuff. Did you like that in the end?
I did like the ice barrier stuff.
You went out to the big dragon, then would summon out this guy, General Ryo.
Yeah, we'd go, instead of going, like when you go cross sheep, you'd get back Astroloud and Meek. Instead of going into like a Chanying or something, you could go into the Lancia, the Dragon Icy Mountain, and then your opponent's turn, they special summon something, you'd summon out General Ryo, and General Ryo makes your opponent discard a card when they resolve a monster effect, and it's just making them go -1, and it's busted as all hell, because if they get rid of it, you get out your Trishula, which rips one from grave, field, and hand, and it's fantastic. I'm not going to tell you it's a bad version of the deck. There's maybe down the road I'll give you a little 40-card version with the ice barrier in there, and it's very clean, very, very gas focused. But this is just the one that I felt more comfortable with at the time. It feels like it's got a better grind game. And that's what this format's going to be going into, is grind games. I feel like you need to be able to outgrind Yubel, because they have a fantastic grind game, just outlasting your boards. And if you can't hang with that, then you're done in this format. So this is the one that I'm on right now. And combos down the road, I'll definitely show some combos down the road. But for now, this is what we got, and it feels good. Keep on testing it. Keep on trying it.
Sounds good. Thank you very much for coming on the channel once again, and we'll be seeing you guys later. Make sure to leave a like and comment below what you guys thought about Mark's deck profile, and we'll have that combo guide eventually. So yeah, guys, we got to cook. Good things take time. So, all right, we'll be seeing you guys later. Bye now. Mannadium best deck.